Hey Aquarius, how goes the battle? Hope you guys are all doing well. This is Nikki here, and welcome to Perspective 1111. This is a divine healing energy reading for Aquarius, those who are ascending through the twin flame template. The divine energies in play. This reading is to bring into your awareness what is going on in your divine feminine, divine masculine energy. Awareness is the first step in healing something, right? If you're aware of what is going on, then you can understand the energy and you can work with the energy as opposed to against the energy, which is what creates resistance, right? Resistance is what creates pain and makes it a lot harder for any changes to take place. Makes it a lot harder to integrate the new energy and release the old if you are in a state of resistance. And resistance occurs when you lack conscious understanding. So my goal in putting these divine energy healing readings out once a month, hopefully they go over okay, and I will, is to bring awareness into the healing process for those who are discovering or are in the twin flame journey, and hopefully bring some awareness into what's going on that month, which can reduce some of your resistance to what's going on that month and help you in the healing process. Okay? So that is my goal. So I'd love your feedback, guys, if you wouldn't mind leaving a comment, giving me a good old thumbs up, and subscribe to support me on my mission in my little way to pitch in and help with the planetary ascension. So that said, okay, I've pulled the oracle cards ahead of time because it is a deeper reading into more energies, trying to bring in understanding for healing. It's a little bit longer than the general what's he up to, what's she up to. So anyway, I'm just going to pull clarifiers, okay, on the oracle cards. So what I've got here is the overall energy for what is being processed through Aquarius right now, the divine feminine part of that energy, the divine masculine part of that energy, and then broken down to try and understand. It is broken down into the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual aspects. I'll pull clarifiers on them all, but all four of these is pretty much what's going on in regards to the overall energy of what is coming in for that half of the Aquarian energy, all the stages to break down. Anyway, we'll go through it, see how it goes, and hopefully it brings in some understanding into what's going on inside you right now, to help reduce resistance, to help bring in acceptance and healing. Maybe there's some tools that I can give at the end to assist in any way possible. And bring everybody back to a oneness in a faster linear time, right? Because as you know, what you manage to heal inwardly manifests out. So ultimately it's about healing the connection, which is what everybody wants, right? Everybody wants that union. Okay, so I've done my thing in the beginning here, and I've pulled the oracle cards ahead of time. So let's get started, I guess, eh? Okay, so the first card I got for you guys for this month, and by the way, before I forget, I do apologize for the little bit of a delay in the remainder of these readings being posted up. I too am on this journey with everybody else, and I hit a little bit of a snag in my own purging. Okay, so the last few days I've been needing to take some time for myself and really dig my heels in and figure out what was going on within my own energy so I could address it. Okay? So anyway, all good now. Okay, so the first card that came up for you guys is practice compassion. See things from a different perspective. Okay? We all know, and Aquarians, this is Sun, Moon, Rising, and Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, possibly North Node. Okay, so anywhere in your chart where you have Aquarian energy in those areas, some of this stuff can be going on for you at some level. Okay, but we all know the Aquarian energy is about, well, it's very mental, right? It's not like you really enjoy your emotions very much. You like to stay in the mental areas, tend to process more through a mental state, right? Unlike somebody like Pisces or Scorpio, who tends to process more through their emotions and experience more through their emotions. Aquarius tends to experience more through their mental body and process more through their mental body. It's more of a comfort zone here. And so, well, this is why we're called the Age of Aquarian, right? This is what the Age of Aquarius right now. Aquarius is about abrupt change and disruption, upsetting the status quo, changing paradigms, which is exactly what we're doing here as we led up to the portal in 2012, which we entered to start ascending to New Earth 5D consciousness. So we needed the Aquarius energy, right, to help change paradigms and bring awareness, like bring new thought in. So now you're being told to practice compassion, to see things from a different perspective, to maybe get out of your head a little bit and now start to really take notice more so of your feelings and to attempt to process a little bit more through your heart space. This came out with the Syrian Starseed card of Karma. Okay, so you're in a period now where you are most likely reflecting in some way. So anybody who has substantial Aquarius energy in their chart will be going through a period where you're thinking back on all the things that you have experienced, all the things that you have taken part in, all the things that you haven't taken part in, and examining them. You know, what did you learn from them? Did you learn your lesson from them? Or are you stuck in a karmic pattern? Are you stuck in a karmic cycle? And do you need to see something from a different perspective here? Okay? This could be directly related to a possible third party. We have Three of Roses that came out with the Akashic record, Akashic Tarot. The Three of Roses is very similar to the Three of Cups, which is about community, collaboration, emotional collaboration, emotional community. It is also a card of compassion and joy and celebration. So it doesn't have to be a third party, okay? But I'm just saying it could very well be with karma and compassion coming up here. It could be reassessing, thinking over, maybe taking note of any mistakes that you made, trying to figure out why you were in that state or in that situation, and really getting to the bottom of what was going on there. But you're being reminded here with the Three of Roses to stay in touch with your emotions and to find some compassion and joy in the now. Okay, the Three of Roses is about finding joy in the now, which a lot of third-party situations are created from. Somebody is not happy where they are in the situation they are in. They aren't fulfilled. And so they seek elsewhere, wanting to experience some joy and some celebration type energies in the now. So you are reminded to look for this in the now and to give compassion to any thoughts you may be having about anything that cropped up prior or anything you may want to be desiring going forward that you know is not aligned with where you want to go, with what you truly want for yourself. And trying to assess why this happened in the first place. Trying to figure out, is there a change that you needed to make? Right? Is there a change that you needed to make? So if you were the person who was in a situation and got involved with somebody else, why? Why did that happen? What were you feeling at the time? What are you feeling now? What can you change? Where can you find joy to bring joy into your life so that A, this doesn't happen again? Is that a change that you need to make in your present situation? Or is it a change you need to make to completely change your present situation, right? So you're in a state of contemplating, in a state of almost a life review, right? This is very similar to the Judgment card in the traditional tarot. It's also very similar to the Day of Reckoning that religions talk about when you transition into the afterlife, where God brings his judgment down on you and say you did good or you did bad, but we know differently. It's not God's judgment that matters, or divine's judgment, however you call the creator energy. It is our judgment. This is self-judgment we're talking about here. This is lessons. Have you learned your lessons? Have you recognized your lessons? This is pretty much the overall energy here for Aquarius. And the reason I go, because I don't always go to third party right away when I see the Three of Cups or the Three of Roses or anything like that. But in combination with the Karma card, and then when on the Divine Feminine side, the overall energy for the Divine Feminine archetype within Aquarius is sacred sexuality, which is the desire and the need to have the Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine energies in balance and experience each other in a physical way, which is what sacred sexuality is, and why sex with the twin flame far outweighs sex on any other level, because it's the exchange of energy. It's the two divine counterparts that are the same energies swapping back and forth, bringing them both into balance, inner balance during this sexual transaction, and radiating that out, surrounding both of them in a bubble of just sheer ecstasy, right? Of sheer acceptance and love and celebration and joy and harmony. So that's why when I saw the Three of Roses, I didn't go there automatically until, and then balance came out on the Divine Masculine side. So needing balance, requiring balance, finding balance. Maybe you were feeling a little balanced and now you're feeling a little off balanced because there's some kind of karmic cycle that you're in review of right now. Some kind of lesson you're being guided to either learn that you haven't learned or acknowledge if you have learned it, so that you can move into a new beginning, a fresh start. Spring is about transitioning, right? It's about rebirth. It's about planting the seeds that are going to sprout into something beautiful, that are going to grow and develop over the next few weeks into something that's, beautiful and wonderful and new and bright and loving. In the mental energy here, we have self-worth, which makes a lot of sense here if one of the situations that you're contemplating had to do with a third-party situation, or if there is something that you are blaming either yourself or somebody else for in some way. This brings up a lot of self-worth, a lot of worthiness, a lot of self-value. So that's in the mental energy for the divine masculine energy within the Aquarius. We also have forgiveness in the heart space. So it is something that requires forgiveness. Forgiveness of yourself, forgiveness of anybody and everybody who was involved, forgiveness of the situation, the event, forgiveness of anything you can think of that is associated to it in any way, shape, or form. So in the heart space, you could be feeling some self-worth issues coming up. You could be feeling a little bit broken. You could be feeling a little bit separated, out of balance from the divine energies between the two. You could be reminiscing on time spent with that person, right? On a time where you felt that love, where you felt that completeness, where you felt that oneness. And there's some forgiveness here that is needed, regardless of your participation in it, whether you were the instigator or whether you were, and what I mean by instigator is the person who started the fling, started the thing, or whether you were the person who betrayed somebody else. You may need to forgive yourself, and you may need to forgive the situation that made you feel that you needed to find something outside of where you were. If you were the person who was the third person, okay, involved in the situation, you may need to forgive yourself. You may need to forgive your partner for putting you in that position. You may need to forgive the karmic, because there's always going to be feelings towards the karmic, like, you want to give this person love, they're not giving this person love, and so you have resentment there. You can also have resentment for the fact that they actually have them and you don't have them. And then in the spiritual energy, we have compromise. So trying to bring things into a balance for yourself, trying to give forgiveness and get forgiveness, right? To bring in compromise here. Compromise is balance. So let's see if we can get some clarifiers on this, on exactly what the situation is, because like I am speculating, I'm basing it on Three of Roses and sacred sexuality, okay? But a third party situation doesn't have to be people. It can be an addiction. It can be work. Anything that has some kind of substance, and what I mean by substance is density to it. Anything that has some kind of density to it, that it actually becomes almost an entity on its own that interferes with a connection of two, is a third-party situation. It doesn't necessarily have to be a sexual partner, an affair, It can be somebody whose thoughts are just always elsewhere, whose thoughts are always on this project at work, or whatever the case may be, and so not giving into the situation that they're in, not giving to their partner, not giving to themselves. That also too is a third-party situation. Okay? Because when you're in that situation, you're not finding joy, contentment, and happiness in the situation that you are in the present. You're not finding that in the now because your mind is elsewhere, right? Your mind is elsewhere. So can we get some message for Aquarius, please, regarding the divine masculine balance energy? For spring in the physical. Can we get some clarification on the balance energy for spring in the physical? And you can't judge yourself when it comes to balance too, guys. We are on our way back to more of a unity consciousness, yes. But we are in a third dimensional reality, okay? And the energies fluctuate, and energy is fluid. So it will go up and down and out of balance. It's how you handle that balance, which is the karma. How you handle that balance and work through that state of imbalance. That is the key, right? That's what it means by being good and in a state of balance here. So can we get clarification on spring, please, in the physical? Spring in the physical regarding balance. Okay, so we have the Page of Cups here. The Page of Cups, I see the pages a lot as the higher self poking through, right? Okay, you go through these stages, and just as you're getting up to the top of that area, of that suit, whether it's mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, you have your little higher self coming in here, right? To me, the page represents the soul poking through, right? The soul really bringing in a new perspective. In this case, a new emotion. So this new beginning is about this new beginning, this new seed that is planting to grow here, is bringing in awareness, bringing in some kind of understanding regarding emotion, starting to feel the emotions a little bit more clearly, starting to understand them a little bit more clearly here with the Page of Cups. It can represent wanting to offer some new love out, being able to express your emotion a little bit more clearly, in a little bit more focused manner. It can also represent self-love, coming up a level in your self-love, which would make sense to me with self-worth here in the mental energy. Is there anything else you can tell us about spring, please? Is there anything else you can tell us about spring? Understanding this new beginning or this new seed. Oh, we have a flipper here. Okay, we have Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so the Queen of Pentacles is about stability, right? She's a nurturing energy. She knows what she wants. She's very confident in her, what's the word? She's very confident in her physical life, right? She's practical. She's stable, grounded. She can even be, good with her finances and getting her ducks in a row. And this new emotion, this new spark of understanding that when it comes to emotion, when it comes to understanding something in your heart, could very well be turning what you considered stable and grounded in the physical world, in your physical reality. It could be turning it a little upside down. Okay, the Page of Cups upright with the Queen of Pentacles in reverse as well can also represent a lack of work or a lack of balance. So a lack of balance, a lack of physical balance in your life. So this balance is bringing in a new start in the heart category, in your self-love, that is going to, something that you were ignoring, something that you were trying not to, something that could upset your reality, something you were trying not to have to deal with. But there's a seed that is planted here, okay? There's a seed that is planted to bring balance when it comes to self-love, to bring a little bit more balance when it comes to knowing your self-love and appreciating your self-love. When you're in a third-party situation, it's a lack of self-love. So this is about bringing in awareness and understanding, and it might be something that you weren't willing to work on before, that you weren't willing to see in your physical reality before, with the Queen of Pentacles in reverse here. Can we get clarity on self-worth, please? Can we get a clarifier on self-worth and the mental energy? Why is self-worth in the mental energy here, please? Can we get one more? One more, please. Oh, there it is. Okay, so the thoughts here, the thoughts happening within the divine masculine energy here is regarding your happiness and a new beginning. A new beginning in the physical here, okay? A new beginning in the physical in regards, recognizing this new cup of love here, this new cup of emotion, this new poke from your higher self on recognizing your emotions, recognizing your worth here, right? Because self-worth. So this is mental energy. So this is thoughts of recognition regarding what's going to make you happy or what hasn't been making you happy in the physical. And it is a gift from the universe, an opportunity to change something. An ace is always an opportunity to change something. It's a new beginning in some way. And in this case, it's about your physical reality. Something is changing within your physical world that has to do with recognizing an emotion related to self-love, self-worth, self-value here that is going to bring in a new beginning. All right? And this is what balancing the scales is about. Letting something go here, right? Whatever is going to be upset in the physical world, to allow this balance to come in. Whatever this is more aligned with your happiness, more aligned with what's going to be more fulfilling and stable for you going forward. And whatever this is, you need to allow forgiveness for, okay? Forgiveness is needed here in the heart space, all right? So this could be forgiveness of self, forgiveness of another. Can we get some clarity, please, on why forgiveness is in the heart space for the divine masculine energy of Aquarius? Why is forgiveness in the heart space? What is the forgiveness about in the heart space? That one. Can we get one more, please? What is forgiveness about in the heart space for Aquarius? That one. Oh, can't turn them. All right. So we have the Three of Pentacles in reverse, and we have the Nine of Wands in reverse. So forgiveness for something. Three of Pentacles upright is working on something of value, right? Collaborating with somebody in a physical way to work on or build something of value. And in reverse, it's lack of that. It's not wanting to create either with that particular person or you know, deciding you just don't want to build something here with this person. And the Nine of Wands here is, this is something that you have been guarding in some way or defending in some way. This could be a relationship that you just have decided that you are no longer willing or wanting to continue because it's not fulfilling, okay? The Nine of Wands in reverse represents being defensive. It can also be paranoid. It can be, I don't see it as paranoid here though. You could have been in the past kind of defending something about a relationship that you were working on with someone and have come to realize that's not what you want to do. Or the divine masculine energy is coming to realize that this is not making you happy and something needs to change about this. And there is something here, the Nine of Wands in reverse. What else does it represent? It can simply just be overwhelmed. It can simply be a lack of inner resources. Okay, so this is the way I'm feeling it right now. The lack of inner resources was the lack of self-love. So before, not having the self-love to really say, you know, this thing that I'm building with this person is really not giving me what I want here. It's really not going to be fulfilling for me. It's really not going to make me happy. And there's some forgiveness needed. Forgiveness of yourself, forgiveness of the person involved, forgiveness of the situation here. What's the compromise about, please? Clarity on the compromise. I really think this particular, this is about the way you were seeing something. The way you were seeing something, the way you were perceiving something, the way you were thinking about something, what you thought was going to make you happy, you have discovered is not going to make you happy here. That's too many. Spirit, can we get just one or two, please? Is not going to, may have been trying to defend what you had been trying to create and justify it. You may have been trying to justify it before because you weren't feeling your self-love was as important as whatever else was going on in this relationship or in the reality that you were trying to create for yourself. You know, so you were kind of justifying it there with the Nine of Wands in reverse. Kind of defending it, not having what you need on the inside to really know you want it to make changes. Like you knew on one level, but not on another level. And now you're realizing that, you know, you just can't continue here. So the Hangman in reverse here, not seeing something, not having an understanding of something, and the Knight of Swords here. This is very unfocused truth, very scattered truth, not understanding the truth, not seeing the truth, lack of communication with yourself in regards to what is true for you. So this compromise is coming in because your energy in regards to what was true for you needs a new perspective, needs a higher perspective, a higher understanding. So bringing in more self-love, putting you more in touch with your emotions to try and balance out what is out of balance here in the divine masculine part of the Aquarius energy. The divine feminine over here has sacred sexuality. So you could be going through a period where you are possibly desiring, maybe reminiscing about this third party situation, maybe wanting to reach out, okay, to whoever, or hoping that whoever will reach out to you, because this merging of the divine energies feels freaking awesome, right? And so it's something that you want. I'm perceiving this. There's fresh start here again in the physical. So there is a new perception on this coming in, but in the mental energy, I'm seeing return and separation. And then in the spiritual energy, deception. So the divine feminine energy over here in the Aquarius sign could be going through a longing. So whether you're a divine masculine who is processing more through this, okay, this could be, you know, scattered energy, wanting to reach out, longing for this person here because you're feeling out of balance and you want to feel that divine alchemy, right? The energies merging together. If you're a divine feminine, you could be longing for your masculine here, and feeling you want a fresh start with this in some way, and you want them to return. You know, mentally you're focused on them returning here. In your heart space, you're feeling the separation. You're feeling the heartbreak over this. And the spiritual energy here is bringing in deception. It's bringing in deception because you need more self-love. Okay? You need to be honoring more self-love. If the situation is that you're longing yet again to fall back into a karmic, okay, a karmic pattern that needs to change, that needs a different perspective, that you need to have compassion for yourself and find joy and love and balance in the now. So trying to fulfill that in another way, right? The only thing I don't like about doing readings this way, everybody seems to do them this way though, because people like to see is pick the cards and go through them. As you pick as the cards come out, meanings can slightly change depending on the surrounding cards, right? So I find there's a lot of backtracking, because the divine masculine and divine feminine energy here, this is a person, right? This isn't a person, and this isn't a person. This is a person, right? A person within a twin flame connection here. So if this is the divine masculine, then this is their shadow side. And this is what is outwardly being expressed and gone through right now. And if this is a divine feminine, then this is the shadow side and what's going on in the shadow side, which is feeding what is being gone through outwardly in the reality of the person who is the divine feminine right now, right? Either way. But I find that until all the cards are out, you really don't get a good idea of the story. It does change slightly. So yeah, this fresh start right now is wanting movement, but it's not coming in. There is no movement in it. Stagnation here with the Chariot in reverse, right? The Chariot in reverse in regards to this fresh start. This is This is because the Queen of Pentacles is in reverse here. Not letting go of something in the reality, possibly. Something that not wanting to work on this self-love issue, on this self-worth issue that is affecting happiness and a new start here in some way. Wanting to defend this working on something that is not working, that requires forgiveness and compassion for. Too many. Can we get one more, please, for the fresh start, the Chariot? Thank you. We have Strength in reverse, so feeling weak here. Feeling weak. Longing. This is definitely the Divine Feminine Aquarius here is definitely longing for the Divine Masculine here. And this is going to stand in the way of a fresh start, a new beginning, okay? Create stagnation here because not understanding and not seeing and accepting the self-worth that needs to come in here. The self-worth needs to be brought up. The worthiness, the value here needs to be brought up. This is a karmic cycle that is being presented yet again to see if a lesson has been learnt here. Okay, Aquarius? This is definitely a karmic cycle that is being presented again to see if a lesson has been learnt here. Oh, that's too many. Can we just get one or two, Spirit, please, for return? Clarity on return. One or two. Clarity on return, please. One or two. Nope. I'm being told you already got it. Basically, you're longing. You're longing for your partner. You're longing for your divine mate, and you're thinking about that in a very sexual and romantic way here, Aquarius. Mentally consumed. Do we have a flipper? Yeah. Mentally, yeah, here we go. See? Mentally consumed about a new beginning that isn't starting here. A new beginning, a fresh cup of love that isn't coming through here. Okay? A new start because you are longing for the love. You are longing for the abundance that it brings, the feeling of ecstasy that this divine union creates when you share it with your divine partner here. And this is here we go. Okay. This is a karmic lesson, guys, okay? This is a karmic lesson that is coming in and being presented again because failure, okay? Lack of success, lack of understanding. Lack of the truth here. Not understanding the truth, not seeing the truth in the lesson here. The lesson is self-love. The lesson is worthiness. The lesson is value, self-value. But you're longing for this new beginning in fulfillment here, something that's going to make you feel fulfilled, this sacred sexuality here. But you're not seeing the truth, okay? You're not seeing the truth behind why it's not coming in yet. There is some kind of karmic pattern or program that is being worked through right now, a lesson that needs to be acknowledged, and some sort of change needs to be made, a decision needs to be made. So if your person comes back to you and makes an offer, but that offer is not of pentacle value, is not a substantial offer. If that offer is, you know, an encounter, and not at the very least talking about creating something of value and worth here, all right? Like, I mean, your underlying energy here, the balance that's coming in is to change this way of thinking, right? This new perspective, to change this way of thinking. You're feeling heartbroken about this right now. You're longing for your divine partner here. And I'm going to say feminine because it's the feminine energy outwardly that's doing the longing, but it could be a masculine as well. Not saying that it can't, but the divine feminine does lead the way in this healing process and this union process. She has to heal first. The divine feminine energy has to heal first and see the lessons first. And then the divine masculine levels up to her, right? Levels up to her. So right now there's a lot of longing here, guys. A lot of longing, but not seeing the self-worth. Not seeing the lesson that's going to bring in a new start, a new cycle, a fresh beginning that's going to bring in spring, growth, and understanding and clarity here. Can we get some clarifiers on separation, please? Yeah, heartbreak. 3 of Swords. It's a lot of mental energy here. You're up in your head, thinking about wanting this person to come forward and make a move, or wanting to reach out yourself and having them accept this offer of love. But there's a karmic lesson here that you're being tested with right now, or that you are not seeing, and you're going through this cycle all over again, because the offer is not there yet, guys. The offer is not there yet. Can we get a second card with the 3 of Swords, please? And so deception is coming in the spiritual energy here. To show you that this, yeah, look, 10 of Cups in reverse, because there's no fulfillment here. There's no fulfillment here. And then we have deception coming in the spiritual energy here, right? Presenting you with a choice. The reason why deception will come in is it's trying to reveal something to you. It's trying to reveal that these thoughts are illusions, right? You have to level up in the self-love department and your worth and your value in some way. You need to do some healing in the energy regarding self-love, right? Patterns that are not loving to yourself. Yeah, there's going to be a purge here, okay? The spiritual energy will bring in deception, make you feel deceived, make you feel lied to, either by yourself or by somebody else, in order for you to release and let go of something, so this can come in, so this new seed can start to grow here into something that will bring in a new offer, a new beginning here, in a physical way. So it looks like, Aquarius, you're going through some kind of a karmic release in regards to self-worth, self-value, and worthiness, okay? So you need to be doing some meditations and energy work in regards to self-love in some way. Take a look at what it is that makes it okay for you to accept not being first and foremost in somebody else's life and thinking that that's okay for you, that you know, you can handle that or you'll deal with that, and accepting that for yourself here. For the guidance cards we have, okay, well, yeah, temptation, devil energy here. Take a look at codependent patterns. Take a look at doing meditations for breaking codependent patterns. This can also be a past life karmic pattern, and past life karmic patterns, programs, and vows, past life vows are all coming up this month. That's a message I got with the new moon for twins, is that past life energy is coming forward to purge, okay, to push things out, to clear a level of stuff out. And all of these things, guys, we have to do many, many, many times over, because there's layers of them. We can't just clear, you can't just do a one energy healing session to help clear away energy that is affecting self-love or worthiness or whatever the case may be. And all of it is then gone, because it's in layers. It's trapped in different vibrations. It's trapped in different layers. So it is a process that takes a period of linear time. And the more you can release, the more you can address, because there's other things stuck in between that will come up in between. So, but this here, this is either a test from the universe to see if you have learned a lesson in self-love, or it's another layer of a karmic lesson, that energy from a karmic lesson you are clearing, or it's a past life vow, or inherited energy that you need to clear, okay? You have here mediumship. So you have the natural ability to connect with departed loved ones. Now, this card also represents just getting messages, okay? Messages coming through. You are feeling this on some level, okay? On some level, you are feeling this page here, okay? You are this is in your physical. You are feeling this emotion, this new spark of emotion and self-love. And you want it, and it's making you want to reach out for that divine partner to make you feel balanced and fulfilled, right? To have that divine alchemy. But there's something out of balance here. Forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. So again, about being in the moment, about finding joy in something else. This can also be inner child here. See the child here, 3 of Roses? Finding the joy in the now, the way children do. This could indicate that there is something in your inner child that creates a self-worth, a worthiness, and a self-value issue. So I would consider doing some meditations on self-worth, self-value, that stem from the inner child. There is something that needs forgiving. There is something that needs forgiving here for self-worth and self-value, Aquarius, this month. The energy is here to support you with it, but you may be feeling some longing. And that's what it's about. It's about self-love. It's about coming more into balance with your self-love. There's things that need to be let go of here, and there's things that need to be forgiven. Yeah, definitely 100%. I'm getting a big fat old yes on that. And I definitely think it's inner child or inherited. Inherited energy, and it could be inherited from, it could be a past life energy inherited through the family line. It's definitely a karmic lesson, okay? Whatever's going on that's trying to come into balance, There's some kind of karmic lesson, some kind of karmic clearing. I would do some inner child work here for sure. All right, guys. There's definitely something that you need to forgive and a lesson you need to learn here. Okay, let's see if we can get a message from Atlantis on this. Let's see if we can get a message from the Atlanteans on this for you guys. If you haven't done any inner child meditations for forgiveness, compassion, and self-love, do it. Also take a look at some past life meditations or clearing inherited energies that are related to childhood dramas here. We have contemplation that's slipping out here and wants to come out. Contemplation. The people of Golden Atlantis spent much time in nature, in quiet contemplation, which enabled them to maintain a sense of balance. Here we go again. Inner peace and wisdom. It also allowed them to sustain their connections to the universe and each other. During these periods, the angels, unicorns, and nature spirits could communicate with them, offering clarity, guidance, and inspiration. And in the silence, they absorbed cosmic light that was beamed down on them. Quiet time. Choosing this card suggests that it would help you to spend time in quiet contemplation. This may enable you to clarify the next part of a project or receive guidance about your future. It suggests that you know the answers, but need to tune into your inner wisdom to access them. Let answers emerge during your quiet times. Exactly what I was saying, guys, okay? I would definitely look into some inner child meditations, sound therapies, light language, anything you can get your hands on that will help, that has to do with self-love, worthiness, and worth, and self-love, worthiness, and self-worth, because they are a little bit different, okay? And forgiving, take a look at forgiving meditations that work with forgiving something to do with inner, there's an inner child here, issue here. I'm getting a big fat yes from Spirit on that. There is some kind of inner child work that needs to be healed that's going on through the Aquarian energies right now in the divine masculine energy. So it's the divine masculine energy either that you've inherited, okay, you've inherited through the divine masculine energy line, or you have experienced in some way that your divine masculine inner energy has stored, or from a past life. That is creating then this situation, this response from your inner feminine energy, wanting and desiring and longing, right? Because the masculine energy is not recognizing or seeing that there is a self-worth issue here that needs to be sorted out. So I'm hearing definitely inner child. This is the compassion I'm hearing. This is the karmic cycle. This is, practice compassion. There's some kind of compassion and forgiveness that needs to happen at an inner child level here. All right. And it's through your inner masculine energy. So if you're a feminine, it's through your shadow side. If you are a masculine and this is your undertone, right? Take a look at why you're reaching out. If you're reaching out and it's not genuine, if this is not a decision that you have made, for a new start, for a new beginning. If this is a roll in the hay, there's some self-worth issues you need to work out before you reach out, okay? Let's get a message here for the... Can we get a message for the divine masculine from their divine feminine counterpart, higher self, please? A message, if this person watching is a divine masculine, from the divine feminine counterpart, higher self, please. Message for divine feminine, for divine masculine, from divine feminine, higher self counterpart, please. Regarding this. Message for divine masculine. Thank you. New beginning. A new adventure awaits. Embrace it and live your dreams passionately. So she's letting you know that she is there for you, divine masculine. She is there for you for a new beginning, a fresh start, right? If you embrace and live your dreams passionately, your dreams, your heart's desire, right? What is worth this happiness to you? Where this happiness comes from? This new cup of emotion that you are feeling. Don't be protecting something that you were working on before or experiencing before in some way that, like your heart wants to give that up here for forgiveness. Your heart wants to give that up in favor of forgiveness here, okay? All right. And for the feminine, we have reflection from the masculine. Give each other some space at the moment. Trust and have faith that all will work out for the best. That's crazy, guys. Seriously, that's crazy. Because that's what needs to happen. Two things. Two things that's making that crazy is that's what needs to happen here. With this longing, is this divine feminine, if this is a divine feminine, needs to trust and not reach out, needs to trust that things are going to work out, but address this problem first. And when I was doing my meditation before this reading, I was getting trust, and I'll tell you how it was shown to me. It was an orange, okay? Oh, crazy. I just realized that. It was an orange, sacral. Inner child. Oh, there you go. Perfect confirmation right there. Thank you, Spirit. And I remember thinking that during the meditation too. I wonder if this is a sacral thing. There was an orange. I saw a masculine and a feminine. And the masculine was throwing orange slices in a container, and the feminine was saying, make sure you throw them all in. And he was saying, you got to trust me. And she kept checking, and he's saying, you don't trust. Like that's what was going on in this vision I was having. And it was an orange. An orange is the sacral, and sacral is where the inner child is. I'm telling you. That's what's going on here. So Aquarius, it's all about gaining trust and releasing something that has to do with inner child and inner child that needs forgiveness, that has to do with self-worth and self-value and worthiness. Okay? That's what's happening for you guys this month. For the Aquarian energy, or within the Aquarian energy, for anybody processing through the Aquarian energy, in any part of you can have this going on. This is not, that doesn't mean that if you're Aquarius, this is the only thing that's going on. This is a part of what's going on, because you have other signs in there as well. So if you have Capricorn and something else in there, then those three things would be something that you are working on, or the energy is working on for you this month, right? So don't resist, right? Don't resist. Just go on in and do some inner child work in regarding to your self-love, self-worth, because these are the things that are preventing this new start in love and are creating this longing, and then of course feeling abandoned and rejected when you can't satisfy that longing, right? So that's your guidance. That's what's healing. I hope it brings you some clarity or some understanding, allows you to find some tools to use to move forward in some way. I would also cut cords of attachment to any person, place, situation, or event that are no longer serving you, that create any patterns that are not aligned with worthiness and self-worth and value. I would also do that, okay, guys? So anyways, I hope that gives you some information, some clarity, some understanding. I'm wishing you guys all love and light. I would really appreciate a like and subscribe. And I'll catch you again in another video. Thanks. Have a good one, guys.